Welcome to the DJ Insider Podcast, sponsored by Amplified Events.
It's the only podcast where we break down insider information from our weddings, experience, and advice from over 15 years in the wedding industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Mike Kane, owner of Amplified Events.
And I'm Joe Obamani, the general manager of Amplified Events.
Let's get into it. Well, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm usually all about the vibe on the dance floor, but today we're talking about the vibe around the dance floor, around the room. And my guest today is a literal architect of atmosphere. She's the creative force behind Petite Fleuriste in Crown Point, where she turns empty ballrooms into full-blown botanical experiences. We're going to be talking about the bold color trends taking over in 2026, a little bit about Pinterest versus reality struggle, and the absolute marathon of labor that happens before the first guest even arrives at the wedding. She's talented. She's honest. She knows where all the best flowers are hidden. Please welcome back to the podcast, Lori Horst.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm an avid listener. It always makes me very happy. It's one of those things that entertains me while I'm working. So I'm very behind right now. I always wait till I get back into season to start listening to all the podcasts. But yeah.
Well, we're so glad you came back. Thanks so much for coming back. And I always say I have the best seat in the house because I see basically when the party starts. But unfortunately, florists are usually long gone by the time we're there and we drop that first track. Is it weird to spend, 15, 20, 30 hours building a masterpiece and then you leave before the party starts?
So I could see you saying that.
Yeah, yes, that's from my perspective.
Yes, but I think personality-wise, mine fits me better. I like to be the fly on the wall and not the center of attention. So I like to sneak in and take small parts of the bride's day. Like one of my favorite parts of the day is presenting her bouquet to her. I love it. Like the look on the bride's face of this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, let's hope at least that that's what I'm delivering, right? Yes. And I've been very fortunate so far. There's a lot of work that goes into that. But that is my favorite part of the day is that small, little glimpse into the beginning. They're not even dressed yet. Their hair's usually half done. But it's one of the first things I think where they see their full vision start to come together. So I get to see that part take kind of go down. But then everything's set up. I get the this looks great, but then I'm out of there. And I don't have to be the one that's entertaining people. And I think that's part of it too with my I dub myself, I'm very introverted. I force myself to be outgoing when I have to be. But if I had to entertain 100 people, it would be too much for me. I can deal with one person at a time. So when you're on set, they're setting up with me. It's great because me and you can have a conversation, but I'm not stuck talking to the bride and the person coming up for a request and the dad that's complaining over there. I'm really good one-on-one and it fits really well for the setup, get my stuff done, know that it's perfect, and then everyone else can deal with the chaos of the day. It's great.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about colors this season and just kind of, do you see anything that's really hot right now? Do you see anything that was really hot last year?
Yeah, so I feel last year it changed a little. And then last year seems to be sort of carrying into this year a lot too. Spring and fall are totally different looks,
yes.
Right? Spring, the colors are coming back and it makes me so happy. I've had more bold and brilliant last year and this upcoming season than I have in such a long time. It was the years before, springs were muted pastel, a lot of whites, which is great. And there's some venues that I will push, the Grand in Crown Point. If you want to do all white, that is such a good look for that venue. I personally am a colorful person. So if I can do a fuchsia and a light pink with some purple, I love color. So I'm seeing that a lot in the springtime. And then in the fall time, it is a lot of those muted, moody colors. It's gotten away from blush and burgundy. And it's more your terracottas and some of your peaches and your browns and your creams. And that's really great too. Super pretty.
Do you think couples are more and more ditching that all white look?
I don't think there will ever be a season where it's completely gone. Mm-hmm. There will always be that classic whites, but it's not as frequent.
I am seeing a lot more high contrast.
Yeah.
Where we're let's go bright oranges, let's go pinks,
People are a little bit more daring now. It is even if they did a colorful dress before, they had to do white flowers. Or if they did like colorful flowers, they had to do a muted dress. And I am seeing like bright blue dresses now with like complementary pinks and fuchsias and that kind of thing, which is great. So people are getting a little bit more daring last season and this season with their color combinations. I'm all about it. All about it.
I'm all about it too. I'm not afraid of color. More and more, we're trying to incorporate color in our brand and our lighting and everything we're doing. So you're also in your work doing florals. Of course, you're doing bouquets, but you also do centerpieces, and we also do any kind of like sculptural kind of installs.
Yeah, my favorite are ceremony pieces, and I guess not ceremony pieces, statement pieces. Let's say that, right? Like I think, especially when you're talking like budget and your bang for your buck, if you have 20 tables. You're better off if you're trying to be a little bit more budget conscious, having like a giant statement piece than like a bunch of little things here and there. So if I can do like an arch or a backdrop for your sweetheart table or something hanging above the dance floor, I'd much rather do that than like little centerpieces on each table. So I will do anything and everything involving flowers. And if I've not done it before, I'll figure it out. That's the fun part of it, right? Like the engineering and the like, that's going to happen. Yep. We're going to figure this one out.
Do you see, I know that there's a trend I've been seeing of like a push for sustainability, more green, locally sourced kind of things. Are you seeing the same thing on the floral end of things? Are you people going more foam free and with their designs and going locally sourced for flowers? Or do you think, what are you seeing in terms of that?
There is definitely a push for that. I personally have been really bad about it. As far as like the foam free part, that is a big part of how I design. There are other florists who are definitely getting better at it than I am. It's just how I have been trained to design. I've learned to design. Like I'm very comfortable with that. But with local flowers, there's been a great push, especially in this area with that. I'm going to give a shout out to Chris from Sugarfield Flowers on this one. She's been great. She has actually organized this whole like co-op in Northwest Indiana of buying local flowers. And we've partnered with Region Roots. And there's actually a way. So any other florists out there, if you are interested in getting to be a part of this, last year it really grew, especially with Region Roots, where we could go online, go onto their website, order local flowers from like all local farms, Valpo, LaPorte. I think there were some in Michigan City. And then Region Roots was actually delivering them to us. It's been great. So like starting in July, I'm trying to use as many local blooms as possible. And that part's been incredible. And again, all thanks to Chris on that one. She's put so much work into like organizing this whole thing. It wouldn't have been possible without her. Oh,
I love her. Of course, we've had her on the pod. She does great work. And that's so cool that you guys are, working together on something like that that's going to have the benefit for the industry and for everybody. And very, very cool. Yeah. In the past, I always saw a lot of beige. I call it that Pinterest kind of beige, Do you think we've moved past that? Or
so here's my problem with the Pinterest beige. It's not actually beige. It's such a fake color for the most part. Like there are some flowers that are that actual like beige color. They're really expensive. So if you actually want that true beige color, you're going to pay for it, which if you're willing to, that's great. That's fine. Like there's a rose called Toffee. And it is the color of toffee. And it's a great name beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful rose. It is like twice the amount as a normal rose. And if that's the color you need, great. But a lot of, again, I've always had this love-hate relationship with Pinterest, right? Yeah. I actually just met with a bride who's getting married this year. She sent me these like beautiful beige inspo photos and it was great. And her look is beautiful. And the first thing I told her, I was like, listen, I see the look you're going for. These colors aren't true. Like this beige color here, that's actually peach. This color here, it's actually cream. If you're aware of that, great. Who is your photographer? And I can't remember who like the photographer she booked was, but it was a perfect match for her vision. And I was like, great, your photos will look like this, but just know when I deliver your flowers to you, they're going to be these colors. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm like, okay, then we're good. But yes, it is the Pinterest beige. Oh gosh, I can't do it.
Let's go opposite of that. What's the boldest palette that a couple's handed you lately?
I did this beautiful. Were you?
Maybe we. Yeah.
Was it? It was last April at Dunes.
Okay. I was there.
Yeah. That one was great, and it was like hot pink, and then we had some like corals and peaches, and like with like the backdrop of the beach, it just popped so beautifully. And I love it. And again, I'm all about color and bringing it in, and especially knowing like match it with your venue, right? Like that's such a like low key venue, and it's not like, I don't know, high end glam. And it works so well in that spot.
Yeah, especially with the Art Deco and like you said, the natural elements of the beach. And we go crazy with the lighting in there when the party starts
But
too.
you can though, right? Like that's the perk of it too, is it's like you're not clashing with a set color that's already on a wall or on a fixture or whatever. You can do whatever you want in that space.
Are you seeing more requests with your clients for like experiences rather than just bouquets? Like, are we talking flowers hanging from the ceiling where people are dancing, having, you talked about like bold statement pieces?
It depends. I feel like that's one of those, I hate to say it, but it's so often it happens that like champagne dreams, beer budget kind of thing.
Yes.
I have quoted out so many people who are like, I would love to have this. And then they get the quote for it and they're like, but we can't do it. Yes. So I think more and more people are wanting it because they're seeing more of it. But then when it actually comes to, they're like, yeah, but I guess we're not going to do that.
Maybe we won't have wisteria
Maybe we
all over
will.
the
I
dance
know,
floor.
yeah. Because I did 2 years ago was the first time I did it at the Grand. They have 8 chandeliers in the Grand. And I did hanging greenery off of it. And it was like this fairy tale, like romantic vibe and everything. And every, like, at least 10 brides I've talked to since I posted those photos, they're like, I want that. Yes. And then I quoted them for it. And they were like, I wish we could. But it's like the things people don't keep in mind is the Grand has a ladder, which is fantastic. Like, thank you, Jillian, for letting me use your ladder. I'm all about the shout outs, which is great. But it is a very, very tall ladder that takes 2 people to move around. So when I'm doing that job, I now have to hire somebody to help me. I also have to have it down by midnight. So then I also have to hire somebody to help me at midnight to move around this 15-foot ladder to take off greenery while dodging people who have had a lot of fun during the party, to say it the nicest way possible. So yeah, especially when you're talking about climbing on a ladder and tearing down an install, like that's where a lot of your extra cost is coming from. And it's just things people don't think about.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, they see the finished project, and I want that.
Yes.
But they don't know what goes into it.
Yes. Right. The labor and the like, you know, everything with it and the timing and the like, you have to get there, but you have to be done by the time the guests get there because you can't have this, especially in that venue. You have to have time to fold the ladder, finagle the ladder. Don't hit the walls because those are very old walls. It's a lot. I love it, though. It's great. It's fun.
And I'm glad that's kind of segueing into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is kind of a day in the life of a florist. You know, kind of pull back that curtain on the labor-intensive side, reality of the job. You know, people see the flowers on Saturday.
Yeah.
But for you, the game started earlier that week. What, like Monday, Tuesday?
Monday, yeah.
That's when shipments arrive?
Yeah. So I try to take Sundays off. I
Okay.
try to like, right? I'm like, I like to have a day off. It doesn't always happen that way, especially during like the thick of stuff. I like to tell myself I have a day off. But yeah, I guess the way my week works is Monday is my day to like probably even empty out my car from the weekend before. Like I have left full installs like shoved in the back of my car and I'm like, Monday morning, I'll get to, hopefully it's not too hot because you get stinky come that time.
You know, I need to eat. Yeah.
Right. Yes. So Monday morning is my cleaning day. I have to like wipe. I am like extra careful with like wiping all countertops down and things. I also don't work well in clutter or dirt. It makes my anxiety like skyrocket. So everything has to be perfectly put away before I can start my next task. Again, that's just me. I know not everybody works that way, but I have to do it. So Monday is like wiping down counters, washing buckets. Hate washing buckets, but you got to do it or you're going to get bacteria. It's going to kill the flowers. And then like once my workspace is totally cleaned out, I start to stage for the next event. So I have my list of like, okay, I have this many bunches of roses coming in, this many bunches of this many bunches of that. And I actually label all of my orders to be like, this is going in bucket A, this is going in bucket B. So then I have the exact amount of buckets put out that I need for the day. And then I have some flowers come in Monday. The rest of my flowers come in Tuesday. And then Tuesday is also my day where I like pull out all of the vases that I need. I start filling vases with water. I start making like corsage bases, and I'll actually make some boutonnieres. And then Wednesday starts my like full design. Like Wednesdays are bouquet days.
Wow.
Thursdays I'll start centerpieces. And then like, it also depends on how much I have to do. But I have this like, I'm very type A for being a creative. I have a lot of systems and I have a lot of like schedules that I follow. So yeah, and it just has to shift up a little bit for Friday weddings and depending on how many weddings I have. But it is it's a full week production.
Yes. And that's something, having you on the podcast last time and doing a little research since then, I'm like, wow, like there is a lot more that goes into it that I don't think typical customers reaching out know about.
Right.
Shipments arrive, then they got to be processed. You got to clean and organize it all and keep it alive.
Yes.
So that's something I've learned from you and Chris, that like you want it to be the most, open, beautiful on the day. And that takes planning and ordering and hydrating and
well, that's one of the things that actually makes me happy. If I get feedback from a guest on a wedding and they're like, I took your centerpiece home, it lasted me a whole week. I'm like, didn't think it was going to, but I'm so happy for you because that's what it is. If the wedding is Saturday, like your flowers are like 80% dead already because that is when they are like the most, like the biggest and the most beautiful and the showiest. And like, I don't expect it to have much life after that.
Yeah.
It's different than like, here's your flowers for your birthday. I hope you get a whole week out of them. Like they've already been living in like warm climate for almost a week at this point.
Man. So there's ordering, there's the prepping, there's keeping the flowers alive, and it's at that exact moment. But then there's the installation.
Yes.
And that's more than just placing vases.
It can be. Actually, those are like the
that'd be an easy one.
Where it's just placing vases, I'm like, man, this is an easy day.
I love my job. Yeah.
Sometimes mentally, it's great. But yeah, depending on what it is, I try to have as much done ahead of time as possible. That way the whole day just hopefully goes without a glitch, right? Like even if it's greenery that's going on the tables with candles, like say the wedding Saturday, come Saturday morning, my vases are already in my van. My greenery has already been like cut into chunks that I need for each table. I have a centerpiece bucket that's labeled centerpieces with the amount of bundles I have in there. So hopefully when I get on site, it's just like super quick and I can get it done easier that way. I also try to do like arch pieces ahead of time too. So that when you arrive, you can just attach and go. That's not always feasible. So there is some install, especially for like your bigger pieces. Cause then there's also the like, what can I realistically fit in my car?
Yes.
Right? A whole arch setup can probably fit in 2 buckets as opposed to this giant arrangement that I have to like figure out how to get into my car.
Yeah. So, and then every venue is obviously going to be different too in terms of the equipment you'll need.
Right. Yeah, but that has a lot to do with it also, right? There are some venues, the ones who are like, you can come anytime after 9. Those are my favorite because then it's almost easier to get there early, do it on site, take my time, make sure everything's perfect. But if they're like, you can get here 2 hours before the guests start showing up, I'm like, everything's got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's got to be an in and out thing.
Limited time, ready to go.
Like, I want to be out of there a half hour before the guests are starting to show up.
Yeah. But it's not just putting that'd be nice, but
yeah, right, exactly.
but ladders are involved, zip ties are involved.
I have
heavy lifting.
Right. Garbage, stems, clippers, brooms, carts, like all of the things that just...
And all of it, you're racing against the flowers dying, wilting, like you want it to be.
Yeah, right. Well, that's a big thing too.
Does humidity play a role in that, like in our weather?
Humidity is actually a little bit better for the flowers, right? I mean, it's going to kind of hydrate everything. Sun is a huge thing.
Sun is the problem.
Right? Yeah. You've worked at White Oak Farm, right?
Yeah.
Their outside area is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It gets hot. It's very hot back there. So when I have a wedding... and it's 90 degrees outside, you got to set up later in the day because it is hot back there. And it is just like an oven and the flowers just sort of like, they bake. So, yeah, I mean, I'm always looking at the weather. That's a huge part of it. I'm sure you are too, though, for outside setups, right? Because if it's like chance of rain, what are you going to do? Now, a little sprinkle for me is like, oh, I'm actually watering the flowers a little bit and it's fine. But yeah, if it's hot and sunny and... electronics don't mix well with those. Yeah. So, right. Yeah, and they honestly don't mix well with us DJs. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. I think I did a setup last year. It was actually at White Oak. And I intentionally got there because they let you in at noon. And I think I got there at 11. So I'm like, well, they can't stop me from setting up outside, right?
Yeah.
So I like set up because I had to bring my own arch too, which again is like a 2-person job. Set up my arch first, got like my zip ties and everything in place. And at that point it was noon and I was like, perfect. Air conditioning. And I sat down and I took like a 20-minute break, which I had scheduled myself for, but it was so hot that I was like, I can't do this all in one run. So then again, I think I did like 20 minutes of setup out inside in the air conditioning. I went back outside and I greened everything in because greenery can hold up a little bit more in like the hot sun. And I was like, I need another break. Went back inside, sat down, sweated my butt off.
What percentage of your work is creative design, and what percentage is like the logistics, the heavy lifting part?
Oh gosh.
Obviously, every wedding's a little different. Every gig's a little different.
I don't even know how to like mentally break that question down, I guess. Yeah. I mean, all of the creative part is like going up to it, right? Which is great. Like again, it's just like the way my brain works. I have to like focus in on one thing at a time. So by the time the wedding day comes, then we're talking like logistics. Like I'm not sure all of my brides love the way I do it, but like I don't start coordinating with all of their people until the week of because that's what I can comprehend.
Yes, that's how your workflow goes.
Yes.
That's how you've set up how you do your work. Yes.
Like I can't be thinking about the delivery of all of your things 2 months before when I'm still trying to figure out all of the material I need. Do I have the inventory I need? What flowers am I going to be like? I have to do it in steps, right? Like if on your initial meeting, somebody's asking me like, well, what flowers do you plan on using? And I'm like, I'm not answering that right now.
Yeah. There's so many.
There's too much other things
that would need to be answered first.
Right.
Yeah.
That before I can sit here and tell you like, these are the flowers I'm going to use. So yeah, it like for me, it's more like scheduling as far as like when that goes down, right?
Yeah, and how you organize that workflow. We're the same way with DJing. I would love to meet with couples 6 months out, but it's not going to be that useful, and it's not going to be that fresh in my mind when I go to do the wedding. I need to know the week before, the week of, and like a couple weeks before what kind of music that you're looking for, what kind of vibe we're going to be curating. But I don't want to meet 5-6 weeks out from the wedding because that's not going to be fresh.
Yeah.
As the DJ, I want to go in. My focus is on this wedding, crushing this dance floor, having a good understanding of this couple's taste and style and vision. And so I have to have my own workflow for that the week up.
I do think part of it too is that, I mean, I think we're both at the point too where like we both know more about the day going into it than the couple does already.
Yes.
Right? Like, and it's a huge trust thing, right? Like, I don't want to know your schedule 2 months ahead of time because it's going to change. You're going to tell me it's not going to change. It's going to change. Like, right? Or like, we don't know what the weather's going to do. So I'm not going to like, I think I had a wedding last year and they kept asking me like, well, the setup was at the roof at Journeyman right here, which again is great, but it is full sun. Like, well, what time are you going to get there? What time is the ceremony site going to be set up? And I'm like, I don't know what the weather's going to be. I cannot answer that question for you now. And their planner did not like that answer.
Pull out your farmer's
but I'm
almanac.
like, I don't know. If it's a perfect day and it's 70 and overcast, I can be done by 11 a.m. If it's hot and sunny and whatever, it's going to be closer to an hour before ceremony time because I'm not going to, mess up my product and the quality of like what I'm designing because you want to know exactly what time I'm going to be done. It's just not.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And more importantly, I don't work that way. And if you want to hire me, this is how I work in this specific way to where I can guarantee the best outcome possible.
Right. Yeah. And most people do understand that. I think it's just, it's either sometimes it's a venue, sometimes it's a planner who they try to be.
Well, they're wearing different hats too. Their goals are different too.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice to have exactly on a schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's like, if you're getting married at a lure on the lake and you're using the indoor ceremony site, I can absolutely answer that question for you.
Give you exact time window, indoor versus outdoor.
Yes. I do think people are still, though, they're loving the outside.
Yes.
They really are.
Yeah. Especially when the weather's nice. Not like lately, but.
You know what, though? It's Northwest Indiana.
Yeah.
Like we can never guarantee the weather's going to be nice.
Really can't. Yeah.
Like, it's just not possible. I mean, my best example, one of my good friends, my husband was in the wedding. They got married at Sandy Pines the end of September. And they were like, it's end of September. It's going to be beautiful. And it was like mid-90s that day.
Whoa.
It was, they had actually rented heaters ahead of time in case it was going to be too chilly.
It's chilly at night. I'll bring my shawl. Yeah.
Yeah. We sweated our butts off. It was so hot.
My formal gloves, will I need them? Yeah.
Exactly. Guys, it's Indiana. You're
going to need fans. Yeah. It's just going to be hot.
You don't know.
I've had that too, where it was cold and it wasn't expected to be cold too. You never know.
I know.
But when the weather's gorgeous,
it's
my.
Great. That's why we live here, right?
Yes.
Because the great days make up for like the 90% not great days.
Yeah. But it sounds like very similar to what we do in that a lot of the work that goes, you are trying to manage client expectations.
Yeah.
We've talked about Pinterest. I kind of want to get back to that, where many photos people take and post online. They use flowers that aren't in season. Right. Mm-hmm. And through the magic of editing, like they have changed the lighting and the color scheme on those flowers. So people are like, just do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can tell you right now, that flower is not in season. That lighting that's not how that flower typically looks. Do you run into that? What is your biggest like Pinterest versus reality heart to heart that you've had to have with your couples, or that comes up from time to time?
I'm honest. I'm just a very honest person. And I really think that, especially in initial meetings, honesty is great. If you're going to be honest and they're like, but I don't like your answer, and they go somewhere else, then I'm like, okay, then go somewhere else. I hope that you're not disappointed. Like, and again, I mean, that was the meeting I had a couple weeks ago. She presented me with these photos. They were beautiful, but I'm like, hey, I will send you bouquet examples just so you know, this is this exact flower. This is this exact flower. Like I had a bride in September. The photos that I kept showing her, she was like, yes, that's great, but like that color's not right. I'm like, okay, I understand what you are saying. And then I think I sent her 10 different examples of like I think it was just like photos from my cell phone. Because I always take pictures of bouquets and I'll post them like my Instagram stories of like, okay, that element that you're saying is not the right color. It's right here, and it's right here, and it's right here. And I would like circle this element, and it was burgundy amaranth. It's this beautiful hanging burgundy element, and she wanted it, and she wanted a really moody look, and it was perfect for it. And she's like, but I don't want pink flowers. I'm like, I understand you don't want pink flowers, but that's the editing, and that's the editing on that Pinterest picture, and that like
here's what this flower actually looks like.
Yes, like all of these photos I'm showing you, like the color's been compromised, but this is actually what it looks like, and this is what you will actually be getting.
See with your eyes, face to face.
Was like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. And I'm like, okay. And again, like sometimes I feel crazy, but I will go back, and especially color. I'm a big like, what color are we talking about? Like I know you said peach. To me, peach doesn't exist. Like the color, it could be orange, it could be pink, salmon. It doesn't like sky blue. I don't know what these people are doing with these colors. But my favorite thing to do, especially when they get their bridesmaids dresses, is I'm like, okay, where are they getting them from? And what are they calling that color? So then I will go to the dressmaker's website and like look at the dress color to see what it is. And then I put like color palettes together too on people's proposals to be like, this is the color your flowers will be. Because I know you said blush, but like, what are we actually talking about here? So yeah, color is a big thing, especially when you do have different filters, and it's really the photography filters. Yeah. And again,
if photographers are doing their job.
Yeah, they are.
Let's make it pop, let's make it look nice, yeah.
Right.
And they're having their own palette. They're trying to, that this is my work.
But
this
it
is what my work looks like.
hard when you are talking about something that is based on color.
And a natural color, like that's created in nature.
That does not have a filter on it when you look at it. Like, so I am very upfront with people of like, that color doesn't exist. Sorry. Like it's going to be this color. And again, most people are happy once I explain it to them. Yeah. And then they fully understand. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, so far I think I've been successful at it.
Yeah, I'd say so. Is there a specific flower that everybody wants, but working with that flower, it's like, this is a diva flower to work with in Indiana summers?
For a while, I haven't seen it as much, but like 2 seasons ago, it was the anemone. And it is beautiful. She's a beautiful beast. But if you touch it, the petals fall off. It likes to wilt in the sun. it can't be used in boutonnieres. I've seen so many Pinterest photos where they're used in boutonnieres. You'll end up with like the middle of the flower and nothing else on it. It just doesn't work. I've actually tried to sell, like, if you really like the look, we can use a fake one.
Yeah.
But I refuse to use a real one.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. And then they like open and close based on how much sun they get. So like on really sunny days, they're flat.
Yeah.
And then on like coming out of the cooler, they're like, they will actually continue to open and close. They're interesting. They're pretty.
Yeah.
I hate them.
But a diva, hard to work with.
The middle starts to like fuzz everywhere. You gotta like, they take so much effort.
What's one thing that you wish clients knew about the cost of labor, not just the cost of the flowers themselves?
I mean, it takes me an entire week. I think that's where, because you also will get the, like, I was actually just dealing with somebody and I had quoted her out for centerpieces. And then she was like, you know what? We're going to do them ourselves. And then like a month later, she was like, you know what, again? I realized I don't want to be working 2 days up into my wedding, setting up the morning of, tearing down after. Can you put the centerpieces back on, please? And I'm like, yes, like that, like, and that is one of my biggest things. Like DIY is great. I'm not going to tell somebody not to DIY. Just do your research and know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Because how do you want to be spending your morning? Sipping champagne or like arranging flowers? Because there is like a whole science to when it can go in the water. Now, or did you put it in too early? Do you have to change out the water? Like, can you put it outside? Or do you have an outside venue? How hot is it? When can you do? Are you going to be setting up your own tables 2 hours before your ceremony starts? Yeah. Like, again, I am starting your wedding Monday and I'm delivering it Saturday. Like, depending on the size of the wedding, I'm pulling over 40 hours a week. Yeah.
And that's not even including all the prep on the front end, ordering.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
It's just week of for the install.
Right. The design itself and the setup itself, like
spending the time going to the dress website and getting the colors, presenting that in their proposal.
Right. And
making sure it's in season, making sure the weather's nice for the, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is one of those, right? It is a small business. So you talk about the labor and everything, like this is supporting my family and my kids and my life's, and yeah.
Yeah. And doing what you love the way you know it needs to be done.
Right. Yeah. And that's part of it too, is I think I really enjoy the client experience and like making sure that they're loved and they're getting what they want. And like, I'm there if you need to call. And I don't mind going outside of what I should be doing of like, I've taken phone calls of like, okay, listen, I just talked to the venue. What color napkins would you choose? I like to know those little details just because I'm like, yeah, that's going to look really good. So like, I don't know. I'd like to be there for clients. And I think that's an important part of it too. Of like, I don't want to overextend myself and book too many weddings where like, I don't have a chance to take a phone call about your linen color or your napkin color. Or like, do you think these will look okay here?
Yeah. Yeah. I love having you on the podcast and talk about this stuff. I see so many parallels with floral and wedding DJing. Like it obviously very different in a lot of ways, but some of the through lines are there. And I think when you think about really, we're kind of the bookends of the wedding.
Yes.
That DJ, we're handling the atmosphere and the energy. You guys are transforming the space visually, but also with smell. Like the flower, the scent of the flowers is transforming it all. And I want to work better with florists as a DJ, including lighting. I know lighting, we've talked about, lighting can literally transform, make a hydrangea look terrible. Mm-hmm. Like it's just looks, or make you look
weird
awesome.
And shadowy and
yes,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I want to, Have you had any experiences or stories that you can think of where a DJ's lighting just, it hurt or it helped the floor? Or what I interact a lot with you guys is when we're flipping rooms, is when we're setting up and during the chaos of moving stuff from the ceremony to the reception or setting up during cocktail hour or any of that. Do you have, let's start with just what's one of the most extreme things you've ever done in terms of room flip or setup? Like, what do you remember about, like, this was?
Oh my gosh. I wish, I can't even remember.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot
here.
No,
you did. And if I would have thought of this question ahead of time, I would have looked it up. I was in Chicago, and I was like a newbie florist too. It may have been like the Waldorf. No, it wasn't the Waldorf Astoria. It was a classy venue. And I was probably in maybe a little over my head at the time for being like just starting out. But it was one of those like ceremony was like it was a total flip. Ceremony was in the same space as reception. And I think we had a half hour. And like these people had a team to do it. And this wedding is one of the reasons I have like a rule now. But she wanted candlelight down the aisle. And I was like, absolutely. Like, you know, because at this point, right, you're beginning. You're like, the rentals, the pictures, this will be so pretty.
Yes,
this sounds
I
great.
can quote that out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the venue, it had this like loft up in the back. So like me and my team were up in the loft, like watching the ceremony end, because as soon as they were done, we had to be in there. And we were talking like, I had these like, it was like a bunch of taller vases, bigger vases with floating candles. So they were heavy because there was water in all of them. And as soon as they finished, we had to like flip. And I had to like get myself out of the way so then the venue could set up their tables. And there's like water sloshing everywhere. But as the ceremony is letting out, one of the guests is like walking and talking and not paying attention. And she walks directly into a set of vases and they just shatter everywhere. And I'm like watching this whole thing go down and I'm like, how did you not see that? Yeah, this set of like giant vases.
It's on fire too.
Thankfully the floating candles go out. But now on top of having this like half hour to like flip everything, we now have to like clean up this glass water mess of everything. And then like the lighter I brought was like not full and like it ran out of gas, and it was just like one of the most stressful things I think I've ever done in my life. But again, as a like newbie, you're like, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be great. Yeah. But I now no longer allow people to do glass down the aisle. Yeah, smart. Because it's not a good idea. It's dangerous. It is. It's beautiful, but people don't walk.
Your guests will knock it over.
No, they will. They do not watch where they're walking ever. Yeah,
We're like that. We have to tape everything down because they're like, no, I'm not going to trip over that. I'm like, yeah, but a drunk guest not watching, or like someone with really thin shoes, absolutely possible.
Exactly. Or someone in heels that they're not used to wearing and they sidestep and they get their heels stuck in something.
Rented dress shoes with no grip on them.
Right, exactly.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
How do we as DJs work together better with you guys to help make the room pop? So where our lights aren't like, and we're not in your way. And
you are like one of the only DJs who is there setting up while I'm setting up, which I love, because every time you're like, you know, you make my life a little bit more entertaining by putting music on, right? Like I love that because I think I talk to myself a lot when I'm doing things. I don't know if you've ever caught me doing it. I have full conversations.
I have once or twice. I thought you were talking to me or something. But it's just processing, you know?
Yeah, right, exactly. Or like, so I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be like pulling my own cell phone out to like play music. So I love when you show up and you start playing background music for me. It makes my life better.
I got to start curating stuff that you like. We can really have a fun time.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just like, most DJs are pretty good, right? As long as you're like out of my way and not putting your stuff right where I need to be. And I think I've gotten better at doing that too. I used to, I try to keep my stuff contained.
A lot of them take the table as our table as the workspace. But now I'm like, well, I don't need a table, so you're good.
Yeah, which is fine.
We just need the space, you know.
I feel that because people will do that with like some of my stuff too. Yeah, I try to be as mindful for other people's spaces as possible, and I think it's so dumb. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people take salt and pepper shakers and put it directly in the middle of the table. Like, I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I'm like, now I have to move this, and my hands are full, and there's too much to like. Yeah, and I think as far as like what can you do to make my life easier, DJs are almost never there. So like again, there's like limited interaction. And I do think it's one thing I don't think I've thought of until like you actually just mentioned it though. It would probably be a good thing on my end to mention to DJs like for the sweetheart table, like, hey, the ceremony spot or like the arch from the ceremony is going to be moved to behind the sweetheart table. Can you make sure the lights aren't behind it?
Yes.
But actually,
or in the way, we're going to be tripping on them when they come in. Yeah.
Or like pointing at it. Because I think that's probably one of the biggest like lighting faux pas is if there's a light behind something. Because then it
just shadow.
It's just useless. A shadow at that point. And that's when you talked about like making the hydrangea look weird. It just looks like a big.
And we can decorate with the room colored light, but we can also switch it to like white or a soft white or like with the yellow. And like we can change the lights that are going to light up the flower specifically for those and have the room be a different color.
That is not anything I've ever thought of.
But so we can make your flowers pop because normally with DJs are like, oh, just one color. well, their wedding colors are pink. Let's just get, and it's just like this bright, 90s pink, but we have that control now where we can literally change the shade, light, dark, and we can also custom do individual lights to where we can make those things pop. But I don't always know. And again, I don't want my work to ever hurt anyone else's work. I would like it to be enhancing everything.
So the interesting thing, I feel like this is just a like color general, and like unless you work with lighting or unless you work with like colors a lot, there's so much that changes a color that people do not think about. This take me back like years ago. I was working at a flower shop in Chicago. I worked in Lincoln Park. It was an interesting clientele. There was a lot of, I feel like, housewives who woke up that day and were like, I'm going to yell at somebody today.
Oh, no.
And it's going to be you.
No.
So I was doing like a homecoming order, and this lady had come in and placed a corsage order for her daughter like the week before. And like she had come and picked out her ribbon color and like it was going to match her daughter's dress perfectly. And she came to pick it up. She was not happy because this is not the ribbon I picked out. And she didn't understand that upstairs there were fluorescent lights and downstairs there was natural light. I had to physically take this lady back upstairs to be like, see this ribbon? This is the same ribbon that you chose under different lighting that now has a different hue to it. And like, it was so difficult to explain to her that like, this is exactly what you wanted. If you're not happy, we can choose a different ribbon, but please choose it downstairs so that we don't make this mistake again. Yes. But you're right. Like the lighting you put on things can change.
Literally the look where she thought that you guys messed up the order.
Yes, exactly. But
why are you giving me this when, no, it's the same thing. I
mean, there's literal science behind what light can do to different colors and, look at your color wheels and things.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it's such a learned thing that like,
For the last little section, I want to do like a rapid fire round.
Okay.
So I'm looking for one word or one sentence only. No overthinking. Okay. We'll call it the pedal to the metal lightning round.
I'm the queen of overthinking, so this is not.
All right. So you have to forgive some of my pronunciations on some of these flowers. Okay. Peonies or is ranunculus? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, ranunculus.
Ranunculus.
Yes.
What would be your first this or that?
Oh, ranunculus.
You had to choose between those two. Okay.
For many reasons. Many reasons.
The most overrated flower of 26.
Anemones.
Do you like symmetry or wild and organic?
Wild and organic.
Your get through the install caffeine of choice.
Oh, right here. Iced latte all the time.
Got to do it. One color you hope you never have to see in a bouquet again.
Yellow.
Biggest floral no for a summer wedding in Indiana.
Probably a peony.
If flowers had a soundtrack, what genre would be yours?
Pop music, 90s pop.
The best part of the wedding day, the big reveal or the midnight strike?
Oh, the big reveal. Midnight strike is like the least part of my job.
I like getting out of there quick, but I'm not, and I get to have fun with it. But
well, here's the thing. I'm usually on my couch in my pajamas, and then I have to get changed again and leave.
Oh, yeah. Well, Lori, this has been so fantastic. And I think, to me, the big takeaway kind of people listening is DJ, of course, we're providing the music, some of that heartbeat, but I really think that you guys are providing the soul and the scenery.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a fun way to think of it.
And when we work together, the couple doesn't just have a party, but they have the memory that looks and smells and sounds incredible. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Anything we haven't covered that we want to cover?
I don't think so. I mean, that was great. I'm like trying not to cover the things we talked about last time. So
yeah,
and it's been a while, but
we love having you on. Please come back and see us again.
Yeah, anytime.
People who want to seek you out and hire you for work with them, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
Definitely email. I'm definitely an email kind of person. Again, I think that's more like the introverted. My phone rings and I panic internally. I'm like, I don't want to answer this. But my email is Lori, Lori, at lpf-design.com. I'm on Instagram and Facebook under La Petite Fleuriste. My Pinterest is also there too. My Pinterest is so organized, and I really hope that it's helpful to people with like bouquet boards and color boards and season boards and venue boards. And like, so if you guys are just like looking for inspiration, even if you're not using me, go to my Pinterest. I hope it could be helpful.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at your wedding.